As the NASCAR season begins to heat up, so too is the news for the upcoming NASCAR 25. And this one's a big one because there were questions around basically what and how we'd be racing in the game. And now at least we know the vehicles, both figuratively and also literally, that we'll be doing it with. Cup, obviously, as well as Xfinity, Truck, and ARCA will all be included in the game. And there is some details that looks pretty good, honestly, all things considered. Now, there is an article I will link in the description below if you want to read it in its entirety, but I will take a few excerpts out and kind of go over those as well as what we can look forward to moving forward. Well, first off, it is said that it will be featured, ARCA that is, extensively in the career mode as well as the other lower series. And quote, "You'll start in your backyard garage in the ARCA Menard series and hone your skills to advance up the ranks. Sign contracts, earn money, hire more staff, expand your facilities, and earn respect on your way to becoming a multi-time NASCAR Cup Series champion." Well, the big thing with a lot of this is that it does, at least based on words, sound like a more expanded version of NASCAR Thunder 2004's career mode, which I would argue is one of the best career modes ever made in all of sport gaming. But I also like that they said the 4 series are also fully accessible in other gameplay modes, including quick races, seasons, and online multiplayer. Which means, yes, all those idiots you're going to be racing with can literally have ARCA brakes, which is something I don't think any of us have ever seen before in such a literal way. And in all honesty, I do like that you're able to do this kind of career mode. I hope it's not just a bare bones thing. They say it's not based on that, but we won't really know until we actually play the game. And they did say that more info would be released soon, which I'm expecting a lot to be released around the Daytona 500. They're probably going to have displays out at Daytona for the race, maybe a commercial, hopefully some kind of at least teaser trailer during the 500 when you have the most people possible watching. And I think that overall, if they're able to deliver, it sounds like a pretty good deal. Unfortunately, though, we've been kind of struck badly before. And overall, I do have a few questions about all of this. How it's going to be done, how immersive can it be, and, well, if fans are going to give them the benefit of the doubt or not, or be a little more jaded. First off, how are they going to make it feel different? Because I want each series to feel different. I don't want it to be like I'm just ice skating in everyone, or it drives exactly the same, kind of like the way that the EA Sports games did in 06 or 07, where the Busch Series was the same as Cup, and honestly, trucks didn't race that much differently, and modifieds were the only one that was different. These cars all race differently in real life. We have heard it before from drivers, obviously, and I mean, even in iRacing itself, the cars race insanely different. So you're going to have to give fans and players that immersion. I don't want to race an ARCA car and make it to Cup and say, oh, it's the same damn thing, we just put different paint schemes on it, basically. Because if that's the case, then I might as well just keep playing my games that are 20 years old that do the same thing, but possibly better. And on top of that, I want to know how it would be feeling different. Would it be speed? Would it be competition level? Would it be the way that you get sponsorship per se, and how difficult it might be? In ARCA, for instance, are you going to have your Joe Gibbs Racings and Venturinis that dominate everything and are really, really fast, and then have your other shit boxes out there? In trucks, are you going to have the same thing? Xfinity and Cup. And is Cup going to be really, really close like it is now, and you see a wider disparity in the lower series like you see now? Those are things that I think immersion-wise would be perfect to add into the game. And even if the game isn't perfect in and of itself, you're able to at least have some very good skeletons to build off of moving forward. Also, I gotta say it, and this is going to be the big pushing point for a lot of people until we play this game: physics. They need to be good, or at least decent. I do not want to spin out because my tire touched the apron. I am having shell shock from ignition for so many different ways. Physics has to be improved. And this is online, this is in different modes, this is just in general. Because if they're awful, And I don't feel like I can race basically fairly in the sense that I can't turn the car without something stupid happening or the game glitches out, then I'm not going to play the game. I'm not going to waste my money. I'm sorry. We have a pretty tough economy in general for a lot of NASCAR fans. I'm not going to drop a ton of money to get a new system and a new game or a new computer or anything like that to play this if it's going to be garbage. I want to know going in, and they need to reassure people like me and other fans that that's the case. Also, this is a really big one for me. When do we see anything of the game? Either commercials, demos, maybe somebody playing it for 15 minutes and playing it raw, maybe even doing it live, being upfront if there are issues and how they'll fix them, something. I really need to see it because the longer we don't go seeing it, the more I'm going to be reminded of Ignition, where all we saw were trailers with cars that all followed all in a line and didn't look at all promising whatsoever, and everyone just kind of kept their rose-tinted glasses on until they were shattered by the crap box we got. I really like that they have big promises. I like that it seems like this team does have big ambitions. They brought people back from all over the history of NASCAR gaming as well as iRacing. They got Dale Jr. parading out there every now and then to be a big figurehead to make fans happy. That's great. That's all fun and games to me. What I want is real fun and games. I want real insurance before I buy this game that I'm not wasting my money. Because while it might not be fair to them for me to put them in this kind of pressure box of grading, and other people I know are doing the same thing, I have watched over and over again games look decent to good or better than the last, and they're just mediocre at best or a complete disaster. I need to know that I'm not going to waste my money. And a theme that I will keep having to bring up is that people need to keep their expectations reasonable but high. Okay, you don't need to expect this to be NASCAR Thunder 2004. They've compared themselves to it, and that scares me, honestly, because, well, to be completely honest, you're not going to get that in the first game. So if they're saying that stuff, I don't want people's expectations going too high to the point they think it's going to be perfect. But at the same time, I really want people to know that they need to expect a game that works. They need to expect a game that is going to be immersive in some way. A game that's better than the last couple and can be a good bouncing off point. Listen, if this isn't Ignition or if this isn't Heat Evolution, that's not something just to celebrate about. That's the expectation in this game. I think at the minimum, this game should be a Heat 3 or 4. Probably 4, honestly. That should be what the minimum people are expecting. A decent enough game that's easy enough to play, that you're able to have stuff in the future built off of and you can improve on. And I don't want people also having load expectations so bad that they're basically going to just apologize for everything. I've seen too many people on this platform and in general apologize for bad gameplay and bad games, and they don't need to. It's a disservice to all of you at home, and it's a disservice to people like myself who actually want to review these games and want to play these games and share that experience with everybody else. So there's a nice little kind of tightrope to walk there, but in general, I think you have to, as a consumer, temper expectations, not be above the moon, but also keep them raised so that you're not basically in the depths of hell. That's where I'm kind of at with it. I think that if we keep it at an expectation to be better, we'll be eventually rewarded with better. But that's all I think about the new news and everything else surrounding it. I think you have to cover both at the same time. What do you expect from NASCAR 25? Let me know down below. Do you expect a really good game, or are you just expecting something decent or a disaster class? Listen, I'm betting that a lot of people may not like what I have to say from there, but I guarantee they're going to look at the comments. So let people know who might be watching what you think. All right, leave a like on this video, share this video, and subscribe to this channel for more great and fun NASCAR content. Thank you so much to all my channel members for your continued support, and until next time, have a good one.